of the Vegan Girl Diaries. We are officially on episode 4, which is pretty crazy. Oh my gosh, my hair looks crazy. It just worked out. But anyway, I just want to thank you guys so much for your support. I'm loving the feedback on these videos. And if there's anything that you ever want covered, just message me, email me, just let me. Would love to just answer some questions that you guys want covered and just help make living a vegan lifestyle a lot easier and more fun. So today I want to touch on a subject that I've been asked about before, and I feel like it holds a lot of people back from transitioning to being a vegan. Being the only vegan in your family. Will I be judged? Will I offend my family? How do I say that I don't eat that? How do I know what's in the food that they make? Food is a huge part of our culture. It's at all family gatherings. It's how we bond. It's how we connect. And breaking bread is very much part of our family traditions, right? So like holidays, Thanksgiving, birthday parties, weddings, like every family event. And I have a giant family who I love very much. So we eat a lot and we also hang out a lot. We have tons and tons of family gatherings. And honestly, I don't really think about my lifestyle as much anymore because it's not a diet. It's just that. It's a lifestyle. But when I went vegetarian at 13, it was a big deal. And when I went vegan at I think 16 or 17 for the first time, it was an even bigger deal because I didn't really understand it myself. I didn't have the confidence in my lifestyle like I do now. I didn't really do my research and I ate like shit and I wasn't resourceful. And now we have all these amazing books and documentaries to help with that. But really after a lot of trial and error and learning how to talk to others about this lifestyle and having some vegetarians in my family, I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to be the only vegan in your family and then survive and thrive. So tip number 1. If your family's anything like mine, they love knowing things, they cook for events ahead of time, they have to know things ahead of time. And even though I think announcing I'm vegan at a family event is a really bad idea, I do think that giving them a heads up is respectful and it's necessary. So at your next family event, whoever's hosting doesn't feel obligated to make food for you and they don't have this abundance of extra food because you decided, oh, I'm vegan and I didn't tell you ahead of time. So I know I'm gonna get asked about how to tell them that and how to explain it. You don't need to. You don't need to apologize for living this lifestyle, just different lifestyle. You need to own it. You need to be proud of it. Don't be annoying about it, but just be confident in what you believe in. So I'll say something like, don't worry about me for food. It could be that simple. Or, I recently made a lifestyle change. So, and then you could fill in the blank with your own explanation or whatever you want to say. So let's say you went from omnivore to vegan. You can say that you no longer eat animal products, including dairy. Because a lot of times, your family, when I was on my cruise, they don't understand that butter is dairy. So I think it's important to kind of mention that. But I would really just be mindful of the generational difference and you before veganism. So who was you before veganism? You before documentaries, books, resourcefulness, all that's out there now. So let your family know prior to your next event, mainly the host, I would say, so they don't feel bad when you arrive and you can't eat anything they made. That's when it gets becomes an issue, right? Tip number 2, bring your own food to family events. I really thought this would offend my family at first, but it's a really great way to spark up conversations about your lifestyle. And I remember one of my favorite family events, my favorite dinners around Christmas time, I brought some meal prep with me and I had a side salad with balsamic and my aunt left the cheese off for me because I told her ahead of time, I followed tip number 1, and I just brought my own Ziploc container and I put it on the little fancy place setting. It was so good too. It was I made it from Trader Joe's and one of my cousins had also made it and wasn't even a vegan, but I followed the recipe and it was a teriyaki stir fry with tofu and it was absolutely delicious and my cousins asked me about it. So yes, you might get teased a bit. And I think that you kind of just have to have tough skin when you're a vegan and you kind of have to you have to. If you're in a family of omnivores, hey Sherry, hey Alyssa. So whenever I'm with my family, I bring my own food and, or I'll eat before and bring a snack, or you can also just offer to help and bring a dish. So this way you can share one of your favorite recipes, you can bring a side, and you also have something to eat, which is really important. So you don't feel left out and weird. And you can also just add a little bit of green to whatever they're making. So that's simple enough, right? Lastly is tip number 3, toughen up. And I know I mentioned this briefly, but if you have a lot of cousins like me or brothers, who like to poke fun at the only vegan in the family, just rise above it. I've heard every vegan joke, every vegan diss. I've seen every vegan meme, and I still receive them all the time. Like literally, my brother actually just sent me one this week. So in return, I follow a ton of hilarious vegan Instagrams. Like I love them. I sent him one back. That was obviously in my favor. I just brush it off. I brush it off now, but I honestly don't think like it's not a big deal. Like you just have to be stronger, and your family will see that. They'll see your resilience. They'll be more open to hearing about your lifestyle. So toughen up, and really the longer that you're vegan, the more normal it becomes at family events. And it's just normal now for them to see me like bring my superfoods with my shaker cup. And it's just normal for me to just bring like a meal prep container with sweet potatoes and tofu and broccoli while they're having like a steak barbecue. Like that's normal, and I don't really care anymore. But it's really cool now that my family asks what I can eat. They'll ask about certain dishes. They'll, give me my salad before adding cheese onto it. It's the little things like that that add up, and omnivores don't really think about it. But when you're in the family and you start going to events and telling them ahead of time, they do that. They ask about the cheese. They ask about what you can eat. They ask if they'll, they can make a veggie kebab at a barbecue. And that is so awesome. And that means so much to me, but it's because I've been so consistent with my lifestyle. So make sure to tell them ahead of time and be confident about it. And bring your own food, offer to help with the dish at family gatherings, especially at like Thanksgiving where we literally can probably eat nothing, and toughen up. This is your lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not something that's going away, right? So be that source of inspiration by staying consistent with it. Nobody likes a vegan that flip-flops all the time, right? And I've been there because when I did it when I was in high school, and those people that are constantly going back and forth, there's everything vegan now. Like I was at Whole Foods the other day and I found vegan beef jerky. What? And someone told me on my Snapchat, they're like, it's actually really good. I'm like, what? And the Beyond Burger at Veggie Girl is basically like In-N-Out reincarnated, but cruelty-free. So where there's a will, there's a way. Being the only vegan in the family might be tough at first, but it's also pretty cool. You'll get asked about it. Maybe you'll end up watching a documentary with them like I did with my mom. And maybe your sister will go vegan because my sister just went vegan. So that's really cool. Be that source of inspiration. Be consistent. Toughen up. So I hope that was really helpful for you guys. I'm seeing all the hearts. Thanks so much. And I will catch you on the next episode of the Vegan Girl Diaries. Bye, guys.